Okay, it is a brand new season in Germany. It's the Nurburgring, it's JTCL here at the Nurburgring. A 15-minute race as ahead of Nico Jensen on the pole. But like down Ruben and someone the X and Soiper, Berkman, Smith, Jones, Nakajima, Hansen, Rash rounding out your top 10. And then comes Chiva Easy, Shaw Martinez, but also Kaye will start this race down in 15th, followed by Smetsky, who is I think the highest of the free agent drivers, followed by Alkanius and Stuglis, then Doug, Mendy, Lau, Forsberg, and Grandis, who's on the back row of the grid. Well, let's see if Mikael Jensen, this hot favourite for the championship, is he worth the hype? We are underway here in the Nurburgring, and I tell you what, Baruma might just have got the bit of launch. As we head down towards turn 1, there comes somebody X and Soipers all the way Bergman, but yeah, Bavuma's got the better start. And it looks as if Bavuma is going to lead them into turn 1. Jensen's going to have to go a long way round. Jensen comes, if he can hold it on there, he has got the inside line, gets a little bit forced off there. Now Soipers is up into this fight. He's going to head a Savile Nix. But then comes Bergman. As they head through there, Bavuma leads. Then comes Jensen, and then Soipers, and then Savile Nix. Bergman is in 5th position for Jones, who's going to head a Smith. As Jensen sends it down the inside of Bavuma. Big move there from the Dane. Is it going to pay off? Gets a little bit out of shape. Now has to go right round the outside here. And as they come through there, that's Soipers off. Soipers off. And we got big damage. Big damage. Who was that? Big damage. Someone's lost the front of their car. It might well have been Soipers. No, it was Jones. No, it wasn't. It was Bergman. Bergman has no fun. I'm still trying to figure out what happened here. So, up ahead, yeah, you saw it there. Soipers had to go off the track, and then as he comes on, he gets a hefty whack from behind from Bergman, who's now going to have to fix the front of that car. Soipers got all out of shape there, went off the track. As far up the field, you got Jensen now trying to go right on the outside of Baruma. Savile Nix is up into 3rd. Back ahead of Soipers and all this. Bergman's in 4th, but he's going to have to pit at some point. As Baruma has got the inside line. Jensen's on the outside. They're wheel to wheel as they come towards the hairpin. Who's more dangerous on the weight? Bavuma's got the inside line. Jensen's forced a long way round. Bavuma's got the better line. Savile Nix is sending it down the inside now, and Jensen, who might go from pole to 3rd. Now Savile Nix gets a nice exit up on the outside. They're followed by Bergman, who has got damage, but he is still very much in this fight. And Savile Nix is trying to go right round the outside, and Jensen gets a little bit squeezed of room there, and this is allowing Bavuma to get away. But Jensen just ahead of Savile Nix, Bergman, Smith, then Soipers, who's dropped back down the field after a promising start. Bavuma, though, well, he's got a comfortable lead in the field. Then comes Jensen, followed into the race by Savile Nix. Further down the field, Lau has dropped to last. As Bavuma is the race leader. And he's got a nice lead over Jensen. Then Savile Nix, Bergman, Jones. So Smith, then Soipers, Jones, Nakajima, Hansen, Rash running out the top 10. That damage to the front of Bergman's car cannot be helping him at all. And that's a move by Smith, who is fighting with Soipers. So, Bavuma the leader. Jensen, Savile Nix, Bergman, Smith. Soipers has got ahead of Smith. In all of this, we're going to have a look at how the Belgian got his way past the pit. On board with him. Down the inside into the final corner. Oh, bit of contact there. But Soipers gets ahead of Smith, then Jones. That's a Nakajima and Rast having a little fight. And then comes Shaw and Martinez as we head down towards turn 1. Might see a little bit of an overtaking opportunity here as Rast is going to go down the inside on Nakajima, and he might even try and get Hansen as well. Big move there for the German. France West dive bombs 2 drivers into turn 1, puts himself up into 8th place. Bergman officially pit him, but he lost a lot of position, so really sure what happened to Bergman. So heading into turn 1, gets through okay, and then just locked up going into turn 1 and went wide. So Bergman, who is probably going to finish this race last anyway, unless it's a safety car, because of the damage to his front of his car, which was sustained after hitting the back of Antonio of Anthony Soipers on that number 1. Last is 8th place, and Hansen and Nakajima. And you can see further down a lot of trains. Back to the lead, it's Bavuma. Jensen, Savile Nix, then Soipers, Smith, and then Jones, Bergman pits, and then last, Nakajima and Hansen are having the highest fight of note. As they've got 11 minutes to go. Jensen's beginning to close. You can tell he's definitely the hot favourite for this championship, and he is beginning to close up. Bavuma makes the mistake. Mistake there from Bavuma. It looked to me like he got the wheel out of shape. Jensen closes up on the back of Darren Bavuma. Then comes Sabo the X, and then a gap back to Soipers. Then Smith, Jones, and Bergman, who's under pressure from last. And then Hansen and Nakajima, who fight it out for P9. Obviously, anyone who finishes in the top 20 gets points. So currently, only Grandis, Forsberg, and Doug failed to score points, but Jensen's all over the back of Bavuma here as they come through the final chicane. And, well, Mikko Jensen, I mean, he is expected to do what Ramakas did to this series last season. Currently, Darren Bavuma has got the lead. Away Jensen, then someone the X, and then Super Smith, Jones, Bergman, and Rast. So you come up the final corner. Jensen hasn't really closed up to the back of Bavuma here, so I don't think there's going to be an overtake. But they got you on flag, that's all in the wall, that's Bergman. Big crash. What is happening with Bergman as he's coming to the pits? Let's have a look on board. And as he's come into the pits, cars won't slow down. He goes in head on. It's hard to really tell how quick he's going because you can't really get a look in these cars. Didn't look, I mean, it was a hefty whack. Bergman's out of the race. Hopefully he's okay, he should be fine. We've seen worse accidents. It's very similar to what happened to Sermon last season, to be fair, and that put him out for a hefty chunk of time. But, different cars this, isn't it? I think he should be okay, Bergman. But into the wall and out of the race. First retirement of the JTCL season goes to Aaron Bergman. So Bavuma is the leader. Jensen in second. Savolnier, Super Smith, Jones, Rast, then Nakajima. Here's a fight. We've got Hansen, Martinez, and Geminisi fighting it out between either Lewis Shaw also in this fight. Down into the corner. Geminisi goes down the inside. Trying to get ahead of Hansen here. Now goes fourth the long way round. But up into ninth place then for Geminisi, followed by Hansen, Martinez, and Shaw. And not completely out of this fight in the background there. You can see Dmitry Smetsky and also the likes of Ike Kaye, Douglas, Kanias, and Losso and Mendy. And that next train really goes back to the likes of Lau, maybe even Grandis and Doug. You can see all the way down this train. Forsberg is the only one who's struggling to keep up, but this is the fight that everyone's focusing on. Jensen on the back of Buvuma. See, Jensen is closing up, and he is right over the back. We're going to go to the cockpit cam on board with Mikko Jensen. Darren Bavuma is ahead of him in these cars, which we have acquired for the JTCL this year. Bavuma, Jensen, and these two are having a two-way fight for the lead right now. Jensen's close though. Might fancy a shot into the chicane, maybe. Not really a place we've seen much action. So we now hit the halfway stage of the race with 7.5 minutes to go. Bavuma leading. Jensen in second. Then Savonier and Soipers, followed by Smith and Jones. Then comes Rast, Nakajima. And then goes that Geminisi train for the fringes of the top 10 all the way down to midfield, really. So off the final corner, who gets the better exit? It was Jensen. He got off the final corner well. We're going to switch away. Mikko Jensen all over the back of Darren Bavuma. He's got to be in a fifth of a second. 2/10 in it. Jensen on the one down towards turn one. He pull out to the right hand side and make the move as we head down into turn one. Jensen doesn't go for it. Bavuma staying ahead for now. But for how much longer can Darren Bavuma continue to keep Mikko Jensen behind? with 6 minutes to go or so. 6 minutes 44 when I last checked the clock. 6 minutes 39 now. Bavuma leading Jensen, and these two have stretched about 2.5 to 3 seconds ahead of Samuel X. Bavuma just lost a bit of time going a little bit wide there. This might attract the interest of Jensen, who stays behind. You can see Samuel X isn't really able to keep up, and he's just having quite a little time of it. Third, then Soipers and Smith, and then Jones, last, and Nakajima, and then Geronisi, and then the battle for the top 10, which is spearheaded by Hansen, and really goes all the way down to Mondi at 17th, but then comes the battle of the Backrockers, Laugard is stuck in Forsberg. But this is the fight for the lead. Bavuma and Jensen. It is these two who are set to fight out the rest of this race. But Bavuma just able to keep Jensen behind. Jensen can't seem to find a way past the championship favourite. Arguably could have won the title last season, had it not been for a couple of poor results during the mid-season. Mistake there from Bavuma. That was noticeable. You just saw it again. He just seems to not be able to quite hook the car up as well as Jensen. He just seems to be sliding a bit. Not sure if that's down to the tyre wear or what's going on with Bavuma. Maybe it's a more aggressive driving style. But to be fair, they both made a slight mistake there. But you can see Jensen's able to hook up the car a lot tighter into the corners. Bavuma's just allowing the car to roll slightly wider. And you saw that noticeably there. And that's just every time Bavuma does that, he's just costing himself a tenth or two, and that's the tenth or two that Jensen's able to use to draw himself a bit closer. But then every time Bavuma hooks up the corner absolutely beautifully, because he's going more aggressive than Jensen, he's able to make that tenth or two back down into the final chicane. Bavuma just ahead. Jensen had a slight look down the inside. Still, though, it is Darren Bavuma who leads. We've seen him dive into the final corner already as we enter the final 5 minutes of the race. Savonix is a long way back in third. Then Soipers and Smith, Jones last. Then Nakajima, Genovese and Hansen who leads that midfield fight. But Bavuma's off the final corner. He got off it better, and he's slightly further ahead at this stage than he was a lap ago. So got 4 minutes 43 to go. Smetsky has retired. We're going to go figure out what happened to Dmitry Smetsky in a minute. And so we're going to follow Mikael Jensen on the way down towards turn 1. He's still behind Bavuma, and as we come down towards turn 1, it doesn't go for the move. So nearly goes into the back there of Bavuma. But let's figure out what happened to Dmitry Smetsky, the Russian driver, formerly of Nurburgring, now obviously a free agent. Not sure what happened to him, but he has retired. Whoa! That's a massive accident. What happened to Smetsky? Oh, so Smetsky already had damage and went to come into the pits, and same accident as what we saw with Bergman, except a bit slower. Then he's trying to get the car going again, and he gets whacked by Doug. That was the major bit. I think that might... Bergman's probably fine. Smetsky might be injured. Doug's going to have to pit, though. So Doug's going to come into the pits now, and he does the exact same thing as the other two. Good news for Doug is he already had damage to the front of the car, so he's going to be able to keep this going here. No, he's not. Car blown up. Doug's out of the race. Seems to be issues with the pit entry here, but Bavuma still leads Jensen. And he's doing a good job right now, just keeping the Dane far enough away. It's like a boxing match, where you've got the week where you're just able to play within your range. Bavuma's got the slight range advantage. That's what it's like. He's just able to use his slight reach advantage to just keep poking Jensen away and away, just far enough away to keep frustrating Jensen, but not far enough away for Jensen to think the move's completely impossible. So Bergman, Smetsky, Doug all retired. Issues with the pit lane. But Bavuma leading Jensen at this stage. With Savonix probably going to make up the final podium place unless he has an incident in third. And then Soipers, Smith, Jones and Vass with Nakajima back in 8th position, the young Banga driver who had some good results when he was driving it in this particular series last year. But currently he's down in 8th place at the moment behind young Shenzhen or Nurburgring driver. But Vass, the German. But it is Darren Bavuma and Mikael Jensen. 3 minutes to go, so I think we're going to have the rest of this lap and then one more lap. I think. Yeah. So we got this lap and then one more lap, and then the race is done. Jensen's still just behind Bavuma. down into the corner. And Bavuma just ahead of Jensen, and actually has just ever so slightly opened up a little bit here, Bavuma. 2 minutes 23 to go, so there is only going to be one more lap after this. Jensen didn't, yeah, he's not really close. There's actually the furthest he's been away from Bavuma for a while going down the main straight. So Jensen's behind. Bavuma's still in front. Final lap of the race. Jensen too far back. So when the X is third, we're going to go further down because Nakajima's been making up some pretty impressive time. He's now closed up onto the back of Franz Rast. I think he might be too far back to have a look here, but Nakajima is beginning to put in some decent lap times here. The best lap so far was a 2 minute 30.2, which is only about a second away from the pace of the leading three. It's about a second faster a lap than Rast, so Nakajima's beginning to put in some nice lap times, but it's not lap times that get you points, and it's not P2 that gets you a win, as Mikael Jensen is beginning to find out the hard way here. One minute to go. Jensen needs to get it done now, and I don't think it's going to happen. Darren Bavuma's pulling an absolute driving masterclass out there. Started second, got the launch. He's absolutely dictated this race. Jensen's been always there, but as of yet, Jensen hasn't quite been able to find that move to get past Darren Bavuma unless he's got something absolutely magical cooked up in this final sector. Well, we're still in the middle sector, but coming towards the final sector now. Really, you feel like Jensen's only hope would not be at the chicane or at the final corner. It comes through there, he needs to be a bit closer to Bavuma. Get off there okay, to be fair. And every time he gets close to Bavuma, makes a slight twitch there, he is close to Bavuma. Could we see some last lap drama here? In JTCL, Jensen on the back of Bavuma. He's got within a tenth and a half, but he won't get it done there. He has to send it at the final corner, surely. For Mikael Jensen, unless he wants Darren Bavuma to win the race. Bavuma was a lot quicker there. Surely he's gone away, unless Jensen's going to absolutely dive bomb him into the final corner, which he's not. As they come up the final corner, Darren Bavuma started his race P2. He had to contend with a heavy favourite for the championship the entire race, but he's going to love this one. Darren Bavuma wins the opener of the JTCL Championship. Mikael Jensen, the favourite, beaten. He was second. Savon X will cross the line in P3. He claims a podium. Then Cyphers and Smith. Jones will finish P6. Rast is going to end up 7th, ahead of Nakajima in 8th. Giannavanisi finishes a decent race for him in P9, with Hansen running up the top 10. Ike Kaye ran a decent race, the young flatline driver, in 11th. Then Lewis Shaw, Broadway Stuckless, then Martinez and Ike and Alex. Mundy's going to cross the line P16. Lau's going to finish up 17th. Then Grandis, Lossell, and Forsberg, the last finisher, will get points because he was the last finisher, and obviously the top 20 gets points. And the three that DNF'd, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Well, we've got news here. Jensen has got past. The bad news for him, it was on the in lap. So Jensen finally got the move done, but it was a lap too late. But Darren Bavuma, incredible moment for him, really. I'll have to check this, but I think this might be his first ever win in JTCL. Huge moment for Darren Bavuma. I mean, really, what a tumultuous, just what a tough time it's been for the young man. He was part of Pretoria last season. They all went to shit. He's had to switch team over the off season. He's still finding his feet as a driver. He's still improving. He's been put into JTCL. Not really been considered. I mean, he was one of those you might have maybe looked at once or twice for the title, but not really one you would have had down. You would have maybe had said Smith, Savonier, or maybe Jensen would have been the main three for the title. And if you're going to go any further, maybe someone like Nakajima, or maybe even Franz Rast. But Darren Bavuma, well, big moment for him. Finished 6th in the championship last season. And yes, this is his first ever win in JTCL, and his second ever time on the podium. Well done to Darren Bavuma.